to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I greatly appreciate it. For those who are new to the channel, I upload every Sunday and Wednesday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And so today will be a relatively quick video. In the month of May, by the time you're seeing this, it is obviously June, but in the month of May, if you are part of So Much Talent's Facebook group, or follow So Much Talent over on Instagram, you know in the month of May, they host different challenges. So if you're in her Facebook group, you'll know the different challenges that they host from month to month. They just came out of, I want to say it was the Thrift Upcycle Challenge. And now this month is May, I should say, is the Swap challenge. So Swap It is where people are paired up within the group who said they want to participate, and then you swap items, textiles, substrates, different things of that nature, and then with someone else that you have been paired up with, and then you create something with what you have received. And so for the month of May, I was paired up with the lovely Cindy over on Instagram. Well, I'll link her channel, her page actually, over on Instagram. She doesn't have a YouTube channel, but we were paired up. I sent her over a couple yards of actually my ombre bespoke fabric that is sold over on Spoonflower. I had a couple extra yards here, so I went ahead and sent that over to her. We had a limit of 2 to 3 yards. You can do pretty much what you wanted. You don't have to use up every single, you know, piece of the yardage, but 2 was pretty much the solid number, so you can create obviously a piece, a garment, or whatever it is that you decided to make. And so I received actually 2 pieces of fabric from Miss Cindy. And the first, I just want to thank Miss Cindy for her fabric and what she sent over. Yes, I have another denim piece that is being added to my denim collection. And if you are new to the channel, back in January, I had announced as part of my 2024 sewing plans is a denim collection, 2024 denim collection, right? And so every month I bring you a new piece that I have created. Now it could be a garment, it could be an accessory, something, handbag. And so the goal is to bring you 1 piece a month. Some months, as you can tell, it's been 2. In the month of May, it was, well, technically 3, because I finished this in May, but by the time you're seeing this, it's in June. So let's count this as my June piece, one of my June pieces. So very excited about this. And if you want to see what I have made previously or my plans, check out my Pinterest board, all of that. I will make sure the playlist pops up at the end of this video, but I'll leave my Pinterest down below so you can get a little sneaky peek of what I have been pinning over on Pinterest. And so yeah, stay tuned for all of that. But this is another piece that I can add into my collection. Okay, so Miss Cindy sent me some denim, and it is actually this beautiful denim, and it has embroidered flowers in there, if you can see that, little flowers. And then I don't think you can tell here, let me unfold it a little bit. On the board there is a border edge, and so on the border, I'm trying to show this, see there is a continuous of the embroidery. And so what I wanted to do for my piece, and I'll put this back in my denim stash. By the way, I've refreshed my sewing room, so if you missed that, go check out that video. I'll probably have that pop up at the end. But what I wanted to do was make sure whatever I made, I showcased that border piece because I thought it was really pretty. Well, along with that, that was 4 yards. 4 yards, just slightly under, but 4 yards of denim. And it's not very wide. I didn't measure the width, but I want to say it was about maybe 52 inches wide, so not super wide, but a lot of yardage. And I wanted, so I knew in order to showcase, because the way the border was going, I needed to rotate my pattern piece to make sure the bottom of what I made picked up that embroidery stitching. And so I decided to pull this out. You all know I am really trying to get through my pattern stash. I've destashed, and what I have left I'm pretty satisfied with. And so this is one that I bought. This is McCall 7960. I had purchased this in 2022 during a $1.99 sale. For those who don't know, what I'm looking at is every pattern I purchase, be it indie or commercial, I always write at the top when I purchased it. So I've had this one in my stash for a very long time, and I was like, oh, it says easy. It's a fun wrap up front, and it says learn to sew. Hey, so what do I think? First of all, let me show you the skirt, and then I'll pop up pictures while I'm talking about the instructions. So here she is. I'm not holding her quite right because, and I'll explain why in a moment. You're supposed to add hook and eyes as part of the closure. I did not do that, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But this is the skirt. I decided to do, I don't think I said, I did view C. So view C does have pockets. It's a full wrap front, as you can see here, and it has pockets on the side here, as you can tell, and they're decent. They're nice deep pockets. Didn't have any issue with that. And as you can tell by the border, the bottom of the skirt, you can see the border. You should have been able to see that, but you'll be able to see it in the pictures as well. I paired it with my TNT tank, which is Nomi 2024. I believe that's it, 2024, because when she sent me this fabric, she wrapped it in this, which is a knit, a red knit. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is perfect. I don't know if it was purposeful. She put the red in with the red embroidery flowers on the front. I don't know, but it worked out beautifully because, as you can tell, well, once I pop up video and pictures, it paired beautifully. And so, and it was only about, probably a yard and a half of this, and I knew that was perfect because if you all know my TNT, the Nomi 2024, it doesn't take much, and there's actually the knit that you see under there, under the overlay of the dress for that pattern. It's a knit dress, but I have decided to modify it into a tank top, and this is like my 7th one maybe. I mean, anytime I got a good yard and a half of some fabric I think will work that's knit, I will go ahead on and just cut this out easily. Hey you guys, future editing me to pop in to tell you the size that I made. I made size 22, which is the size pack for this particular pattern. This particular pattern comes in sizes 14 through 22, and it also starts at a size 6. So the ranges for 2 different size packs will be from 6 through 22. Again, I made the largest size 22. And so yeah, I absolutely love this. It goes with this beautifully. And so let me get into, and I will pop up pictures while I am discussing this. I thought this was a pretty easy pattern to sew. It was easy. The only reason, I'll pop this up real quick, the only reason, here's the tie that you see in the front. I'm going to untie this because it's a couple things, because it's easy sew, it doesn't really get into details about finishing off things except for like the waistband. And so when you put this tie, because you have the ties for view C, it just tells you to stitch it at the marking, which I didn't mark the right side of the fabric, so I didn't know where that was. So I just kind of wrapped it around me, figured out where that tie needs to hit so it can tie easily. So what I did instead was just serged. I serged that in because I didn't want that to be raw. And so once you serge it down and then you tie it, and as you can tell, the rest is cleaned off beautifully. It does have you turn it under. It wants you to slip stitch. We're not doing that. This was good enough for me, and it turned out beautifully. Totally forgot to put a label in here because I prefer to put a label. If I'm going to put a label in the back, put it in before I stitch down the waistband so you don't see the stitching of the label from the back. But I also serged all of the pieces, it does mention about, it does not, will say, it does not say to stitch down the front of your skirt, but I did. I stitched that down to keep that in place. Although you do finish the bottom of the skirt per the directions where you turn everything in and you have a nice cleaned off corner, it didn't tell you to stitch any of this down. So that's what I did. I stitched the facing down so this wouldn't flop in and out. Hopefully that makes sense. And so yeah, I absolutely love it. Easy, put on, and you just tie it. Tie it in the front, and again, you can't necessarily see this at the moment, but one of the things I will say is the reason I did not add the hooks, because there is the area, maybe I'll show that real quick before I put this back on actually. And actually I won't put it on because you can't see it anyway, but you're supposed to add hook and eyes here to attach here, so when you tie it here, you know, is secured here as well as with the tie. I did not do that. I didn't add the hook and eye. I didn't add a button or anything like that, only because with weight loss, I figure, and you probably all saw the sewing buzz when I talked about that, but anyway, with the weight loss, I didn't want to be bothered with switching out the hooks, moving the hooks and eye over, and being bothered with all of that. So I didn't bother with that and everything, so I just left it. But I absolutely love it. I love how this fits. The instructions, like I say, are really simple. I already told you about how they turn under the edge. You do have, it's really easy with the 4, you only have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pattern pieces. You have the pocket for view C, the front for view C, the back for view C, the waistband, and the tie. That's all you have. Real super easy. Could this easily be a TNT for a beginner? Yes. It does have the gather. You do have other options where you gather into the waistband, which I thought was nice. I just really like this whole where you can do the slit, and you'll be able to tell in the pictures how that embroidery looks, and I thought that just bode really well for this particular pattern. Will I say that this is an easy sew? Absolutely, it is easy, but keep in mind, if you have been maybe a little bit more than a beginner, just take in consideration some other finishings that you might want to do on your skirt that may not be mentioned here in the pattern. Like I said, as you saw, all my seams are serged, and I did stitch down the front facings. It does not tell you to do that, but I did, just because I didn't want that to be moving or anything, and it looks absolutely fine. So this was a fun, quick sew, and the time it took me to sew that, hour and a half, it wasn't long at all, and to sew up the tank like an hour. I mean, that really, it didn't take long at all. So this complete outfit, absolutely quick, easy, fun, cute, simple, and it was fun for the Swap It challenge. Thank you, Aletha, for putting on such a wonderful challenge as usual. This was so much fun, and it was nice to get something else into my denim collection, if I must say. Thank you, Cindy, so much for the fabric as well. If you guys have any questions, definitely let me know. Leave them down in the comment section below. I thank you all so much for tuning in today. You all have a blessed rest of your week, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.